interviews in the last few days, and man, has he ever relaxed. He's coming out as a real spokesperson for the team, and I think he's really embracing this opportunity in Ottawa.
You know what I want to say quickly about the goalies? Do you know what I want to say? I just wanted to check.
The answer all year long has been no.
No.
That's it? Okay. Listen, the rivalry. Back from 2000-2004, as you know, 5 years, 4 times they met. The mere mention of the rival would fire your blood. So this is what it was like.
What makes a good rivalry?
Intensity.
Mayhem.
Physicality.
Competitive.
Momentum.
Hatred.
The old Battle of Ontario.
Battle of Ontario.
And the Battle of Ontario is alive and well.
That rivalry, it was unbelievable.
A crazy rivalry. That was as close to hatred as you're probably going to get.
We definitely grew to hate each other.
I don't know if I would take it as far as hatred, but extremely intense.
There was a lot of intensity.
You hear Bob Cole's voice, just brings you back to those times.
Coming up there, Barrison. Here comes Thomas. Scores! What a finish!
You put that jersey on, you're going out and doing whatever you have to do for your teammates.
Being in the playoffs is what makes rivalries.
Sundin scores! And the Toronto Maple Leafs win the first game.
It was an interesting time in hockey here in Ontario.
There was a lot of pride on the line.
I know they could have won game 1, but after that, Toronto has beaten them in every single category.
When you meet the same team often enough, that rivalry becomes more intense.
I think they respected each other. They just hated each other.
A hit on the boards, a lead player is hurt. The play goes right on, they score! Ottawa scores a goal and the lead player is still down.
It's an obvious penalty.
Might have been a bit of a dirty play from my vantage point.
Was it a penalty? I'd like to think so.
You know, you look at it now and, yeah, probably a penalty.
Debatable hit.
Scores! Scores! And it's 2-0 Ottawa.
We were totally dominated in the first period in Game 6 at home.
We had it under control, and Ricard Pearson hit Ty from behind. He split his head open.
And there's going to be another penalty on that hit by Pearson.
And Domi's cut, as you can see, as he went head first into the glass.
If you went to finish a check when you were playing Toronto, you kind of hoped that you hurt him.
They score on that power play and change the momentum of the game.
Here's a shot from inside, score!
You know, I thought we, had them on the ropes, game 6, and it slips away from us.
McGillney scores! And the Leafs are ahead 4-3.
To go back in there and got one out like that was pretty special.
It's some of the best hockey I've ever seen, some of the most intense hockey I've ever seen.
McGillney scores! McCabe shoots, scores! The crowd is standing and applauding the effort of this Maple Leaf hockey team.
That's the part that stings. We were close and just couldn't close the deal.
Green's going over to point the finger at Chris Neal. And Tucker's right on the bench. It's grabbed him right off the bench.
It was mayhem there for a few minutes.
Tucker's jumping in the bench.
The rivalry is alive.
My style of play was pretty intense, pretty over the top.
We're just chucking fists back and forth.
At least 7 or 8 of them got me pretty good on top of the head. I still got some lumps and numbness up there.
That was the hatred between both teams.
Moran is coming out front of the net. He slots it in. They score. There's a 7th game with these two. Uenig is striding in there for Toronto, and the scores. Here's Uenig again. Scores again. And Toronto wins the series over the Ottawa Senators once again.
A lot of disappointment. We never beat them in the playoffs.
It was a flip of the coin that just happened to land 4 times in Toronto's favor in 5 years.
Over 20 years ago, and for the most part, remember them like it's yesterday.
Whether it's, 2025 or 2002, there's no doubt that the intensity is there.
I think it's huge just for us to get to play in the playoffs again.
Both cities get super hyped for it.
Sens, Leafs, Stanley Cup playoffs. I don't know really how it gets better than that.
Thank you to all the alumni. Here's a nice moment, kind of like an Easter bunny. Brady Tkachuk, as he offers a puck, and he said, no, that is for the Ottawa fan. You blue shirts, get away. Isn't that nice? Battle of Ontario. So,
Flip of the coin there.
yes, it is a flip of the coin. Good for you. Finally, came up with something. Derek Lalonde is back, and we'll chat with Derek about this battle next.
Men's clothing provided by Jack Victor.
Welcome back. As the official fuel of the NHL, Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. Visit esso.ca/Stanley Cup for a chance to win one of 3 trips to a Stanley Cup final game. Time now for Line Change, presented by Sports Interaction, where every game's your game, no matter where your loyalty lies. Scan the QR code and bet local on the bet of the night. The parlay clicked yesterday, so we're going for 2 in a row. An anytime goal for Austin Matthews, 1 or more assists from Mitch Marner, 3 or more shots from Brady Tkachuk. Those 3 together pays plus 650, so wager 100, and it's 750. You can scan the QR code for more. Derek Lalonde, it's an honor to have you back, Derek. Let me just say, 27 years of coaching, college ranks, Ferris State, Denver, then you get to the pro ranks, Green Bay, Coach of the Year, Toledo, Coach of the Year, then Iowa, then the 2 Stanley Cups in Tampa, then a winning record in Detroit.
Yeah.
So we're lucky. And one of the nicest things you always said, every step of the way was my dream job.
It was my dream job. This is my dream job now.
Good. That's what I wanted to
series
hear.
to come back to. It's amazing.
The men, I think I understood what Kevin and Elliot were saying, but about power plays are going to be a big part, special teams. So let's look at actually the PK.
Power plays are both capable, and they're going to show up, but come playoff time, it's your penalty kill. You go through stretches where your power play dries up, that's fine, but you can't go through stretches without your penalty kill. And what's unique about this matchup, 2 completely different penalty kills, 2 completely different systems. This is Toronto here. I call it a top-down. They pressure down. You can see Marner trying to top down, and they want to get the puck in this shade area right here. Toronto's happy where this is at right now, and they keep the D off the post, owning the middle of the ice. Now they get beat up top. Now they don't want the puck in the middle of the ice. So Matthews starts the same route. They get the puck right back where they want. They own the middle of the ice again. There's the D off the post. There's Marner in the middle of the ice. They get their turnover. Top down, you own the middle of the ice, D off the post, and you get your pressure here. Really good sequence. Toronto's going to want to see this all series. Now, conversely, when you talk about an opponent here, completely different penalty kill. They're in a little diamond look right here, but they are very unique in the way they handle the goal line play right here. Now, you can see the diamond look. They go to the goal line. Now, they'll use the weak side D, which is Zub here, and he'll take the man in the middle. And Giroux, the wing on the flank on the penalty kill, goes all the way to the goal line. Sanderson comes down. They get their 3 guys inside the penalty kill. Good look at the goal line. Again, it comes back down, and there's Giroux to pick off the back door. Goes 200 feet. Really good penalty kill. I'm really intrigued on this penalty kill matchup, and it's very unique to have 2 different systems at this level, such a copycat league in the NHL.
Derek, what about Craig Berube's got last change, so he's going to wait for Travis to show his cards. When he sees the line Travis puts out, that's when he'll throw the Matthews line over. What's the line Green will throw that he'll throw Matthews at?
Well, you talk about home ice and how important it is. You get the home ice, you get the matchups. And I think he's going to go fire on fire, Berube. I think he's going to go Matthews versus Stützle, luxury of his. And then I think he's going to go Tavares versus Cousins. Now, what you're going to want is Green wants Pinto versus Matthews. That's the matchup he wants, and that's why you get home ice. You're going to avoid it. The one constant matchup, and that's going to be for sure the entire series, especially at home, is McCabe and Tanev versus Stützle. So I'm fascinated with the matchup and how this is going to play out. It is a true chess game. As a coach, this is the stuff I love watching.
You'll be right back in the first intermission to see how that scouting report panned out. Thank you, Derek. It's just great. Tonight's money line for our Hockey Night in Canada schedule has the Maple Leafs and the Golden Knights both favored at home over the Senators and the Wild. 2 games on Sportsnet tonight. You can bet every game with Sports Interaction Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Austin Matthews now getting ready for Tim Stützle, apparently, and Kyle Bukauskas. Kyle.
Austin, over the years, what have you learned is the best way to navigate the first period of the first game of the playoffs?
I think it keeps things simple. Get in there, keep things simple, forecheck hard. Just got to play a structured game here, especially the first 10, and go from there.
What would you say is the biggest impact Craig Berube has made on your group this year?
There's been a ton of things. Obviously, new coaching staff coming in, a lot of new personnel. A lot of different things, lots of changes, but I just think the way that he communicates with guys, the message that he has every day for us is very simple, and it's just compete and work hard and stick to our structure. So, it's kind of been the message throughout this, and excited to get going tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Ron. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Kyle Elliott.
All right, the question about playoff experience. Toronto's obviously got more of it. David Perron was really good on this topic today. Season series, Sanders dominated the Maple Leafs. Also a question, does that matter? But David Perron had a couple good lines. He says, look, if you're good enough to make the NHL, you're good enough to play in the playoffs. And he said the second thing was the Senators core is all taking criticism. If they can take that criticism and handle it, you can play in the playoffs. As about succeeding in the playoffs, here is Perron.
Vancouver, we lost in 4 games, so we'll see what happens. But they had the Sedin brothers there. Kevin Bieksa probably cross-checking me 50,000 times over 4 games. Somehow we became buddies. I don't know how.
Well, I cross-checked him because he was a rookie with a yellow visor tinted and white skates like Kovalev. So wouldn't you cross-check him as well? But I think, like, if you're looking at the Sens, they could be young and brash enough that they just go let their game go, or they could be inexperienced. You could play both ways.
Yeah.
All right, Motley Crue is going to open the telecast, and you do not want to miss it. It's a fantastic start to the Battle of Ontario next. Hockey Central was presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook.